Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. When I look back, I realize many people believe success happened like magic. But the truth is different. Success comes from daily habits, from those silent decisions that nobody applauds. When I founded Alibaba in a small apartment with 17 friends, nobody believed in us. I didn't worry about that. I knew that if I did what was necessary every day, even when no one was watching, I could build something great. Success habits, self-discipline, and daily improvement were the silent tools that shaped my destiny, and they can shape yours too. At the beginning, I was constantly ridiculed. They said a Chinese man from Hangzhou had no chance against global giants. And you know what I did? Simple. I planted seeds. I studied a little more, talked with my team, adjusted small things. Each action was small but powerful. As I like to say, if not now, when? If not me, who? If you wait for the perfect moment, you will never start. And if not you, who will? These invisible habits, combined with goal setting and positive thinking, became the unseen structure of my success. It was curious to see how people sought grand moments, an instant promotion, a big overnight victory, but reality is different. The construction is slow and silent. I focused on personal development every day. Small victories, accumulated, form empires. And in the real world, what defines who achieves true life transformation is the ability to create invisible but unbeatable success habits. Imagine a sculptor. He doesn't create a masterpiece with just one blow. It's thousands of strikes, patiently made, that bring something incredible to life. It's the same with your life. Every small act of self-improvement, every reinforcement of your mental resilience, every instant of self-awareness, all of it is shaping you. But what nobody tells you is that the world won't recognize this effort at first. You will have to be your own cheerleader until the rest of the world catches up. If I had waited for ideal conditions or people's approval, I would probably still be teaching English today. Not that I didn't love teaching, but I wanted something more. When you understand that success is the result of repeated self-discipline, daily gratitude practices, and an unbreakable commitment to personal growth, everything changes. And the real magic? It happens exactly when no one is applauding you. A single drop of water seems insignificant, but I remind people that when it falls repeatedly on the same spot, it eventually pierces the hardest rock. That's how small daily habits work. They seem useless at first, but are the force behind true life transformation. Many people get trapped because they quit when progress seems slow. Society teaches us to seek fast results, but reality rewards those who respect time and persist without immediate returns. That's how daily improvement, willpower, development, and self-discipline secretly change destinies. The greatest trap is thinking you're not moving forward when you don't see instant change. I often saw colleagues give up right before a breakthrough. I understood that consistency beats intensity. The people who patiently work on self-improvement and develop a growth mindset don't just get better results. They become the unstoppable ones. That's why cultivating daily success habits matters more than any shortcut you think might exist. Every small effort, every repeated action is like secretly stacking bricks inside you. Over the years, when the impatient ones have moved on, those who stayed the course wake up to find they've built a fortress. At Alibaba, we weren't the smartest or the richest. We just kept working when no one was watching. That's the hidden engine behind self-belief and true personal development. I know it feels discouraging sometimes. You study, work, prepare, and yet the results are invisible. But let me tell you something funny I learned early. If you want to see real growth, trust the unseen. Trust the power of silent accumulation. As I once joked with my team, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. Focus on evolving every day through continuous learning, focus, and self-awareness. When I observe the paths of those who make a real impact, They all share this invisible trait, resilience in the face of slow progress. They embrace the boring, invisible daily grind that most people overlook. You might not see it today, but each act of personal growth builds a version of you that the future demands. And maybe, just maybe, that future is already waiting for you, a few silent steps ahead. Jack Ma said it with clarity. People plant a seed and expect to harvest a tree the next day. That is not how success works. Success respects invisible cycles that only patience can reveal. Every time someone gave up around me because they weren't seeing immediate results, I smiled inside. I knew that true growth was happening underground, where eyes can't see. It was mental resilience, self-discipline, and growth mindset at work in the shadows. The hardest part isn't starting. It's continuing when it feels like nothing is changing. I lived this many times at Alibaba. Years would pass, and we still looked small compared to others. But inside, we were growing stronger. Every rejection, every door slammed in our faces was forging a tougher skin. Building emotional intelligence and personal development wasn't glamorous, but it was the real foundation of our life transformation. Courage means moving forward without applause. When everyone else demands immediate validation, you must choose quiet persistence. I often reminded my team that our true competitors weren't outside, they were inside. Impatience, fear, distraction. Learning time management, refining productivity tips, embracing self-awareness, these were our secret weapons. They don't make headlines, but they build empires. Once, after being rejected from dozens of jobs and even Harvard 10 times, I could have easily quit. But I trusted the slow work. I trusted that consistent effort would eventually compound. And it did. Self-belief isn't born from victories. It's built through silent seasons of struggle, where the only thing growing is your strength and your dream. Sometimes people ask me, Jack Ma, when did you finally know you would succeed? And I smile, because it's a trick question. You never feel certain. You trust, you work, you adapt. Success doesn't scream when it's arriving. It whispers. And if you keep planting, keep nurturing, you'll hear it sooner than you think. Many people think, if only I had money, I could make things happen. But I teach the opposite. Money follows vision and preparation. It doesn't create them. I saw people with huge resources fail and others with nothing rise to the top. Why? Because true wealth comes from self-discipline, personal development, and mental resilience. At Alibaba, we didn't start with money. We started with dreams, goal setting, and a fierce will to work. Money is a magnet attracted by preparation. If your mind isn't ready, even winning the lottery won't save you. I remember watching competitors who had far more funding than we did collapse under pressure because they lacked self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Having the right mindset, being rooted in growth mindset and personal growth, is what transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Some believe financial success comes from external conditions. I knew it came from inner mastery. Every day we focused on productivity, self-improvement, and gratitude practices, not on chasing investors. We built Alibaba around serving customers, empowering employees, and creating value. That's why I always told my team, if you plant the right seeds, the harvest will come. Chasing money without nurturing your mind is like watering weeds. The real game is invisible to most. It's an inner game of building self-belief, of visualizing your future when there's no evidence yet. When you prepare yourself through daily improvement and focus, opportunities naturally appear. It's like tuning your frequency to success before success even knows your name. Those who wait for external validation are always too late. When I reflect on our journey, it's clear. Chasing money is like chasing your own shadow. But building yourself, your discipline, and your resilience turns you into a lighthouse. And money, like ships at sea, comes sailing to your shore. The real fortune lies in who you become while everyone else is still hoping for a shortcut. When I started, I heard no more than 30 times. I was even rejected by KFC when they opened in my city. Out of 24 candidates, I was the only one not hired. But I had a strange habit. I believed in myself even when nobody else did. It wasn't arrogance. It was a daily decision to protect my dream. That's why I tell you, self-belief, mental resilience, and positive thinking are muscles you have to build before the world ever claps for you. The world constantly tests whether your faith in yourself is real. It's easy to be confident when everyone agrees with you. But real belief is forged when the doors close, when the calls don't come, when your friends shake their heads. Every day I chose to reinforce my self-awareness and self-discipline, not by loud proclamations, but through quiet action. I focused on personal development even when it seemed invisible. It's funny how doubt from others can feel heavier than your own, but you must learn to treat outside opinions like background noise. When I told people about Alibaba, many laughed. An internet company? In China? Impossible. But I remembered a simple truth. When you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. Dreams are wealth. They fuel personal growth and life transformation in ways money never can. Self-belief doesn't mean ignoring feedback or becoming blind. It means anchoring yourself to your vision when external circumstances look hopeless. I nurtured my dream like a gardener tends to a fragile plant, daily watering it with visualization, feeding it with gratitude practices, protecting it with fierce focus. Not because others believed, but because I refused to let the dream die inside me. Every great success story starts with a moment when nobody else can see what you see. If you can survive that moment and grow stronger from it, you are already far ahead of the crowd. Belief is not a one-time act. It's a decision made day after day, even in silence, even in darkness. And it's that unseen habit that will soon lead us into a whole new understanding. The real power today isn't in knowing more. It's in adapting faster. When I built Alibaba, I quickly realized that sticking to what I already knew would be fatal. The internet was moving fast. The rules kept changing. Success wasn't about being the smartest. It was about continuous learning, the ability to unlearn outdated habits and relearn better ones. This flexibility became the core of our personal growth and productivity. One of my favorite metaphors is, if you want to catch the rabbit, don't change the rabbit, change yourself. So many people try to change the world before they even update themselves. But winning today demands self-awareness, self-improvement, and relentless curiosity. The faster you adapt, the more opportunities you can seize. And trust me, they don't wait for the slow movers. Clinging to what you know feels safe, but it's the most dangerous thing you can do. I saw competitors fall behind, not because they were lazy, but because they were too comfortable. True success habits involve being brave enough to admit when you need to change your mindset, your strategy, and even your identity. That's how you maintain a growth mindset in a world that never stops evolving. Every time I faced a major challenge, I asked myself, what do I need to learn next? Whether it was leadership, finance, technology, or emotional intelligence, I became a forever student. Reading books like Mindset by Carol Dweck, or watching movies like The Pursuit of Happiness fueled my belief that adaptability beats genius. Growth doesn't come from standing still. It comes from moving, learning, and moving again. The future belongs to those who remain flexible, humble, and curious. If you're willing to let go of outdated beliefs and step into new ways of thinking, you will stay light, fast, and powerful. It's a thrilling process, and if you follow it, it might just lead you to transformations you never imagined. Failure hurts, but it's a necessary pain. Every rejection, every disappointment I faced acted like fire on iron. It forged my resilience. At Alibaba, we failed countless times before we succeeded. Failure isn't the enemy, it's the blacksmith that shapes you. If you want mental resilience, emotional intelligence, and true self-improvement, you have to be willing to walk through the fire, not around it. I wasn't the smartest student. I failed university exams, got rejected by Harvard 10 times, and was the only candidate not accepted at KFC. But every no taught me a little more about patience, strength, and personal development. As painful as it was, I began to see failure not as a dead end, but as a powerful life transformation opportunity, something that sharpens you like steel. The funny thing is, the world teaches you to be ashamed of failure. But what they don't tell you is that behind every successful person is a long trail of unseen defeats. Each setback built layers of self-awareness, willpower development, and focus inside me. Without those hidden lessons, Alibaba would have collapsed at the first real challenge. Success is never about avoiding mistakes, it's about growing because of them. Think of failure as the gym for your spirit. You don't grow strong by lifting paperweights. You grow strong by lifting challenges. And the heavier they are, the stronger you become. Every piece of self-belief and every breakthrough I achieved was the direct result of staying in the fight a little longer than most people could bear. Those who quit at the first no never discover their true strength. But those who embrace failure as part of the journey unlock a kind of power that most people never touch. And once you realize this, a new question arises. If failure is fuel, who are the people you're traveling with on this unpredictable road? The environment shapes you as much as your efforts. When I was building Alibaba, I learned that surrounding myself with negative minds was like planting flowers in poisoned soil. They simply couldn't grow. Success isn't just about self-discipline and productivity tips. It's also about protecting your dream by choosing the right people around you. Your personal growth depends on the energy you allow into your life. The wrong company drains your self-belief and clouds your focus. I witnessed friends and even talented colleagues give up on their dreams because they stayed around doubters too long. In contrast, when you spend time with dreamers, doers, and believers, your vision strengthens silently. This is one of the greatest empowerment strategies you can apply to your personal development journey. I often tell young entrepreneurs, if you can't find positive mentors in person, find them in books, videos, and communities. Success is too heavy to carry alone, but with the right energy, you lift mountains. Some of the books that influenced me deeply include Good to Great by Jim Collins and Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. Both teach the importance of the company you keep during your rise. One thing I realized early on, dreams need oxygen. If you let the wrong people suffocate your ambition with doubt and fear, you'll never breathe life into your vision. That's why I often repeat it among my team, when you're poor, if you have a dream, you never feel poor. Dreamers, when united, create their own wealth, a wealth of mindset, vision, and life transformation. Choosing your environment is an act of self-respect and strategy. The people around you either add fuel to your fire or pour water on it. Which ones are you allowing in? Because soon, the energy you surround yourself with will start writing the story of your future. Mental energy is the most precious resource you have. I learned early on that wasting it on people who doubt you is like watering weeds. They'll grow fast and choke your dreams. At Alibaba, we didn't have time to fight every critic or argue with every skeptic. We focused on self-discipline, self-awareness, and protecting our personal growth like a sacred mission. Without that, life transformation would have been impossible. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you must protect your focus fiercely. I reduced the time I spent with those who drained my energy and increased my exposure to visionaries and builders. It's not about arrogance, it's about strategy. Every moment you spend feeding doubts is a moment stolen from your dream. Cultivating mental resilience and positive thinking became as crucial as any business strategy. I used to think hard work alone was enough. It's not. You must guard your mental space like a warrior protects a fortress. Books, mentorships, inspiring conversations, these became my daily fuel. It's no accident that our team thrived even under pressure. We were relentlessly careful about what entered our minds. That's true productivity at its highest level. Protecting your energy also means setting new standards for what you tolerate. Gossip, fear-mongering, constant complaining, these are invisible toxins. They seem small at first, but quietly destroy your ambition. Choosing gratitude practices, visualization, and empowerment every day made all the difference for me. Your vision is sacred. It's not meant to be shared with everyone, especially those who have never dared to dream themselves. How you guard your focus today will determine the strength of your future. And once you build this internal fortress, you'll be ready to make even bigger decisions that will shape the path ahead. Success or failure isn't written in the stars. It's written in the small choices you make today. When I was starting out, I realized that every tiny decision, getting up early, making one more call, studying a little longer, was shaping my destiny. The future isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you build with self-discipline, goal setting, and personal growth. Every invisible act of self-improvement is a brick laid on the path to your future. Most people think the big moments decide your fate. I discovered it's the small, silent moments that do. It's saying yes to persistence when you feel like quitting. It's choosing focus over distraction, growth mindset over comfort. These daily micro-decisions accumulate faster than you realize. And before you know it, you either have a life you designed or one you allowed to happen by default. It reminds me of when I first told my team about Alibaba. We had no money, no technology, and no major connections. But we had one thing: belief in the future. I told them, if we succeed, 80% of people in the world can succeed too. Today, young people have more tools than we ever did. Smartphones, internet, unlimited knowledge. The future is now, and how you use these tools determines how far you'll go. Every small habit you form today either brings you closer to or farther from the life you dream of. Visualization, gratitude practices, productivity tips, they aren't luxuries. They're the essential building blocks of self-awareness and life transformation. Small disciplines, repeated over time, create massive breakthroughs. It's a quiet, invisible revolution that will one day make everyone say you were lucky. So I leave you with one powerful thought. You're already building your future, whether you realize it or not. The only question is, will you build it with intention, courage, and clarity, or will you leave it to chance? Because the next decision you make will shape far more than just your today. Wow.
In a masterful and unforgettable presentation, Jack Ma once again redefined what it truly means to build success from the ground up. With his unique combination of wisdom, humor, and unshakable optimism, Jack Ma captivated the audience by dismantling the old myths about luck and destiny. He made it crystal clear: success is not a lucky accident. It's the inevitable result of daily, invisible work rooted in self-discipline and personal growth. Jack Ma took the viewers on a powerful journey through the real battlefield where victories are forged, the small, seemingly insignificant decisions we make every day. He challenged the popular belief that talent and money are prerequisites for success. Instead, Jack Ma demonstrated, with vivid examples from his own life, that resilience, focus, and a growth mindset are the true engines of extraordinary transformation. His story ignited a fire in everyone willing to listen beyond the noise. Throughout the presentation, Jack Ma shattered the idea that failure is a sign to quit. He showed that failure is not the opposite of success. It is the furnace where champions are molded. Sharing personal stories of rejection, ridicule, and unimaginable setbacks, Jack Ma illustrated how mental resilience and emotional intelligence build unbreakable leaders. His words resonated deeply with anyone who's ever doubted themselves or felt overwhelmed by life's obstacles. Jack Ma's philosophy that money is the result, not the cause, of a strong internal foundation brought a refreshing, almost revolutionary perspective. He exposed the trap of waiting for perfect conditions and armed the audience with practical productivity tips, visualization techniques, and gratitude practices that can be applied immediately. The message was clear: stop chasing money and start becoming the kind of person money naturally finds. When Jack Ma spoke about the critical importance of surrounding yourself with the right people, his words hit like lightning. He revealed how your environment silently shapes your destiny more than talent or hard work ever will. Whether through mentors, books, or building a circle of dreamers, he proved that the right energy is the hidden multiplier of success. Perhaps one of the most striking moments came when Jack Ma passionately emphasized the new intelligence, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn faster than ever before. In a world that rewards speed and adaptability, he made a compelling case for continuous learning and relentless self-improvement. His advice felt less like a lecture and more like a wake-up call to anyone serious about life transformation. Jack Ma concluded by dropping a final, electrifying truth. The future isn't decided by fate. It's decided by today's small, silent choices. With inspiring vulnerability, he shared how believing in himself, even when no one else did, was the cornerstone of his journey. His words left an undeniable imprint on every viewer's mind. If you don't actively build your future today, you will passively live someone else's tomorrow. This was not just a motivational talk, it was a manual for building a legendary life. Those who paid attention walked away not just inspired, but equipped with real strategies for productivity, goal setting, and self-belief. Jack Ma's message echoed in every heart. The greatest power you have is the choice you make right now. Now that you've traveled through this transformative journey with Jack Ma, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let these powerful insights slip away, or will you anchor them into your daily habits starting today? Remember, it's the invisible work, those silent, consistent choices, that will carve out your success story. Which part of Jack Ma's philosophy resonated the most with you? Was it the idea that small habits outperform big dreams without action? Or maybe it was the realization that failure isn't your enemy, but your greatest forge. Whatever it was, write it down, share it, and commit to applying it. Don't just consume inspiration, turn it into transformation. How are you going to protect your energy from now on? What small habit will you start today that your future self will thank you for? Drop a comment below sharing your biggest insight from today's journey. Let's create a wave of dreamers and doers who refuse to leave their future to chance. And if today's lesson lit a fire inside you, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Believe me, YouTube's algorithm won't bring you back here easily if you don't. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications, because staying connected to this kind of empowering content is how you keep your momentum alive. Also, whenever you feel your motivation slipping, come back and watch this video again. Recharging your spirit is part of the journey, and sometimes one powerful reminder is all it takes to get you back on track. And if you're ready to take this journey even deeper, don't miss the next video. Take risks. You're wasting your potential. Jack Ma's wake-up call. There's even more gold waiting for you to unlock the future you've always dreamed of. Your transformation doesn't end here. It's only beginning.